It's hard to believe that's 8.3 miles an hour. Look at this with the current. So we're live here on YouTube, America's Great Loop, leaving Brown's Bar, heading to Paducah today. And I just went live for a few minutes here. Pete's just rinsing down the boat. There were a lot of bugs last night out on the anchor. Look at the speed on the boat right now. 8.4 miles an hour, and I'm still at idle speed. So we just pulled off anchor. It's one of the only places, or it's one of the few places on America's Great Loop where you have, there's no choice. You gotta, unless you're gonna go fast, you've got it. So last night I got up early, about 2 o'clock in the morning, and I started answering all of my comments, which I do it almost daily, but last night I just went through all of them, spent probably a couple of hours looking at a bunch of things and seeing where we're at with the channel and what's going on. And one thing that I want to iterate on is, because this probably gets the most negative, is about the money and the finances and stuff like that. And if you're out here trying to do America's Great Loop, you gotta have money. I mean, that there's no question. You know, like some of the guys stuck up for me in the comments saying, you know, if they were dead broke, they wouldn't be out on America's Great Loop, and they're correct. In the 2008 crisis, you know, after that whole incident happened, you know, I'm living in debt. I'm, you know, in debt up to my eyeballs. You know, it was just a horrible feeling. And after that, I said, I'll never again. So from 2008 in my life till now, I haven't had any debt. I've pretty much lived a debt-free lifestyle. Everything I have is paid for. But did buy a house there in St. George, and that house, I wasn't. I had a mortgage payment on it, but I was able to recoup all of my money from that mortgage payment. I didn't make any money on the house, but I didn't lose any money on the house. So that's what paid for this boat. And everything throughout my whole life has been an adventure, and I try and get these adventures paid for one way or another. It doesn't matter whether it's YouTube AdSense, you know, I love it, I'm trying it. But I had an opportunity to pick up this boat here and in the middle of the loop, which I wouldn't recommend to anybody. Loop Princess was 10 times the boat in much, much better shape than this boat was in. After I completed Loop Princess, before, if you took the two, there was no comparison. If you took the two boats and compared them side by side, this boat was in a lot better shape, especially dollars to cents. And this boat right here gives me the opportunity to recoup a lot of my money from America's Great Loop. And I love that. It's a sickness that I have. It's a sickness my son has. And it's just something that's bred into us. I don't know why, but we do it. And my definition of being broke are two entirely different things. You know, I don't want to brag to anybody about how much money I have or don't have. We don't have, in the big picture, we don't have a lot of money. But you know, to some people it might seem like a lot of money, but you know, I have plenty of money. If something were to go wrong with this boat and I had to do some repairs or something, we would be all right. We would survive it. We're not destitute. Just a beautiful morning out here. Yesterday we saw a bald eagle playing on the beach with another bird. It was incredible. And then the bear sighting got us in the local news because that brown bear that we spotted, they said that there's been more spottings of bears lately than normal. And so they were excited to see the video of the actual bear crossing the river. So it was pretty cool. Anyway, getting back to the comments yesterday, that was probably one of the big comments. And I just, you know, if you're doing America's Great Loop and you went out and bought a trawler for $25,000 and you come out here and you expect to do the loop and not have the money, that's not realistic. You know, anybody that watched all of my videos, you guys know that I'm heavily invested in crypto. I have a pretty nice stock account. And I do sit on, I wouldn't say a considerable of cash, but keep that for investments, for, for anything, you know. And throughout the loop, I bought cryptos while I'm on the loop. I've bought stocks while I've been on out here on the loop. It's just it's what I do. It's, you know, it's the stocks are what paid. Um, Last night of the moon, just that blows. Those people that can just